Lake Simcoe monitoring program focuses on the nearshore warm water habitats, essentially anything less than 15 meters in depth. Dr. Ginn and his team employ a variety of methods to test for plants, benthic invertebrates, plankton, and algae.
Okay, this instrument is our water quality monitor, and what it is, it's basically used to give a quick check of what the health of Lake Simcoe is like. So at the bottom there's various probes or various instruments, and some of them are used to figure out what the turbidity is of the lake, so basically how cloudy the water is. There's also pH, so whether the lake is acid or alkaline. Also chlorophyll to tell us how much algae is in the water, and also there's cyanobacteria detectors as well to see how much cyanobacteria is in the water. And it also does things like temperature and also the amount of oxygen which is in the lake for the fish as well. So with the probe in the water, we read out on this little screen, so we can see on a hot day like today, the water temperature is around 27 degrees Celsius. It's fairly cloudy, and there's a lot of algae going. The chlorophyll value is around 56, which is very, very high, but that's about average for the Holland River.
Dr. Ginn also tests for water transparency using a Secchi disc. Usually, the faster the disc disappears, the higher the phosphorus content.
So the Secchi depth in the Holland River is around 50 centimeters, which means that the water is very cloudy or very turbid. There's a lot of algae which is growing in it. In Lake Simcoe, where that algae is being removed by the zebra mussels, the Secchi depth is around 7 meters, and we've recorded up to 11 meters this year. So just because it's been very dry, there's been very little phosphorus moving into the lake, so a lot of that algae has been removed by the zebra mussels, so it's very, very clear water this year.
The entire population can filter all of the algae of Lake Simcoe every 5 days.
We did a study on zebra mussels in 2008-2009, and we found out there's, on average, on hard bottom substrates, so things like boulders and rock and so on, that there's about 10,000 zebra mussels in a square meter plot. This plant that we have right here is called Cara, or it's also known as muskgrass or skunkweed, and this is one of the native plants from Lake Simcoe. Back in the early 1980s, this used to be the dominant shallow water species, so especially on sandy environments, this was the main plant that we found. 1983, Eurasian water milfoil invaded Lake Simcoe, and since then this has almost been completely displaced in the shallow water. So now there's a few spots of this muskgrass left, and most of it is Eurasian water milfoil that's found in shallow water. And you can see on it as well, there's a tiny zebra mussel, which is attached right here. Okay, so this is Eurasian water milfoil. So this is one of the two invasive plant species which is found in Lake Simcoe. You can tell it's got kind of a feathery appearance to it, and that's how it's identified. This is now the dominant shallow water species. The muskgrass has been replaced mainly by this one. Okay, so this is the second invasive plant species. It's crispy pondweed, and it's kind of got this either crispy or kind of a crunchy appearance to the leaves when it's in the water. And this one is usually found during the summertime. It grows from May till about July, and then it tends to die off before the fall hits. So. So this is a plankton net, and it's used to collect zooplankton, which are the tiniest animals which live in Lake Simcoe. And the changes in these let us know the first changes which are happening in the lake. They're very tiny. I'm not sure if you can see them swimming around. They probably almost look like little dust specks inside this jar, but we'll take them back to the lab and we'll take a look at them underneath the microscope.